So we're comparing the new Tecno Spark 10 Pro and the 6 years old iPhone X. Mainly because these two can actually be found in the same price bracket. This is currently going for 2,100 Ghana cedis, and you can actually pick one of these up used for about 2,000 or maybe even more than 2,100 Ghana cedis, depending on the size that you're going for. So since they're all in the same bracket, we're going to be comparing both of them to see which one performs best in 2023. Without taking much of your time, let's get to the video. So like I did mention, the iPhone X is almost 6 years old. It was launched in 2017 and is currently 2023, so almost 6 years old. And the new Tecno Spark 10 Pro was launched a few weeks ago. And when it comes to the design, the new Tecno Spark 10 Pro is way bigger. It also has a glass back, but the frame here is a plastic frame. The iPhone X, on the other hand, has a glass back, a glass front, and stainless steel all around. So that makes it very, very premium. It's 6 years old, but it still feels like a very premium device even in 2023. The glass on the iPhone X is Corning Gorilla Glass. That means it's still good in 2023, unlike what we have on the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. But when it comes to the design and the build, as you can see, the Tecno Spark 10 Pro looks like a 2023 device, whilst the iPhone X might be lacking a little bit because it's over 6 years old. But it's not the most ugliest phone that I've seen. The iPhone X still looks kind of pretty. So in the hand, obviously the iPhone X is smaller, so it actually fits in the hand very, very well. And also the curved edges makes it very comfortable to hold in the hand. Yes, the Spark 10 Pro doesn't have sharp edges, but in comparison to the iPhone X, I like the smooth nature of what we have on the iPhone X. So when it comes to the design and build, I'm actually going to leave it for you guys to decide here, because this actually looks very old. But considering the fact that the materials used here is very premium, the Corning Gorilla Glass at the front and back, the stainless steel all around it. This only has glass at the back and glass at the front, but the sides are plastic and it's not Corning Gorilla Glass. So I'm kind of leaning towards this in a way. Which of these are you going to choose in terms of design in 2023? Now let's talk about the screen. The Tecno Spark 10 Pro has a massive 6.8 inches IPS display. It is a 90Hz display, whilst the iPhone X has a 5.8 inches display, and it is an OLED display that supports HDR10. And I can tell you from both displays, the OLED panel is always welcome. The OLED panel on the iPhone X looks richer, deeper blacks. All the blacks are actually there, and the colors are very, very vivid in comparison to what we have on the IPS display on the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. And the iPhone X is a CT-Head display, but I can say you can actually compare it to what we have on the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. Dare I say it might be even faster than what we have on the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. But when it comes to brightness of the panel, when you go outside, I'm going to give it to what we have on the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. It's actually kind of brighter than what we have on the iPhone X. In case the sun is bright, you can actually see this one more clearer than this one. But in general, which one are you going to choose? Once again, this is an IPS display, this is an OLED panel, so you know richer colors in comparison to this. So the display also, which one is going to be your pick? I want to know in the comment section down below. And when it comes to platform, the iPhone X came out with iOS 11, but currently has been updated to iOS 16 and has the Apple A11 Bionic chip. This is a 10nm chipset, while the Tecno Spark 10 Pro comes with Android 13, has the iOS 12.6, and has the MediaTek Helio G88. And this is a 12nm chipset in comparison to the 10nm chipset found on the iPhone. And when you look at the Geekbench score, you can see for single core, the iPhone X, even after 6 years, obliviates to the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. This has 994 in comparison to the 421. And the multi-core score, the Tecno Spark 10 Pro has 1405 in comparison to the 974 found on the iPhone X. And I have to tell you, when using this even in 2023, this is no slouch. It literally rips through almost everything that you throw at it. It's still snappy, it's still fast, it's still snappy, and it does amazing well. And when it comes to performance, like I said, they are both really good. But deep down, I'll have to give it to the iPhone X, because when it comes to even gaming, the iPhone X can still play most of the high-end games very, very well. Unlike the Tecno Spark 10 Pro, I'm not saying the Tecno Spark 10 Pro doesn't perform well when it comes to gaming, but if I have to choose one of these mainly because of gaming, I'm kind of going to give it to this. But there's another problem with that. On the iPhone X, it kind of heats up a little bit way more faster in comparison to the Tecno. So maybe for long-time gaming, you might probably want to consider this. But for the best performance ever, I'm kind of going to give it to this. And when it comes to regular day usage, everything, like I said, still the iPhone X is kind of faster than the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. So I'm going to give it to the iPhone X. And for battery life, the iPhone X is not the greatest. It has 2716 mAh battery, whilst what we have on the Tecno is a 5000 milliamp hour battery. And I can tell you, in 2023, the battery life on the iPhone is not the greatest. It definitely won't take you throughout the day. You might find yourself charging it maybe once or twice, depending on how you use it. I've been using it the whole day, and because I'm always on Wi-Fi, I'm currently on 23%. And the Tecno Spark 10 Pro is at 77% at the end of the day. So you know, when it comes to battery life, the Tecno Spark 10 Pro takes it in 2023. Now to my favorite part, the cameras. The iPhone X has a 12 megapixel main sensor for the rear, and it has a 7 megapixel selfie camera in front, while the Tecno has a 50 megapixel sensor for the rear and has a 32 megapixel sensor for the selfie camera. And let's take a look at some pictures that these produced. When it comes to the selfie, this is what they both look like. I'm going to leave you guys to decide which one you prefer more. Also, checking out the main sensor, this is what the portrait on both cameras look like. One thing I realized about the portrait is that the iPhone X does an amazing job at focusing on subjects even when there are two people in the shot, but the Tecno Spark 10 Pro can't focus on two people, so it turns out focusing on just one person. And for the regular pictures, you can see the Tecno Spark 10 Pro has saturated pictures, whilst the iPhone X still has natural looking pictures in comparison to the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. So once again, we're going to test this against the iPhone X. We have the iPhone X on the left and the Tecno on the right. What do you think about both footages in terms of skin tones? Also the mic. I saw a lot of you guys complaining about the mic on the previous video. How is it like in comparison to the iPhone X? Let me know in the comment section down below. See you in the next one. So for the cameras as well, let me let you guys decide which one are you going to go for. Okay, so this is the point that I sum it up. If you want to enter the iOS ecosystem and you're looking for a very cheap device to pick up and you want something that you're definitely not going to break the bank for, the iPhone X might still be a phone that you can actually check out. Like I said, even after 6 years, we still get iOS 16 on it. I don't know if we will have iOS 17. We could probably get iOS 17 on the iPhone X, and the Tecno Spark 10 Pro might actually get about 2 years of software update. I can't actually guarantee 6 years of software update, but in 6 years time, this is not going to be usable. So probably that's that. I have to say I like the feel of the iPhone X in comparison to the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. When it comes to the screen, I like the bigger display on the Spark, but I still prefer the OLED on the iPhone X. When it comes to the performance, I'm still going to choose the iPhone X because it's kind of faster in comparison to the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. Which one are you guys going to go for if you want to spend the same price on the iPhone X and the Tecno Spark 10 Pro? Which one is going to be your choice? Let me know in the comment section down below, as I'm always spending time with you. I'll see you in my next upload. Peace. I'm out.